how do you move forward with your marriage after finding out your husband had an affair with your sister?
Jerry.
No. We're talking about like play sister. Like, oh, that's my sis.
No,
Right?
first of all, where she went wrong was, sis, is when you said, how do you move forward? You move the fuck on. You move the fuck on. It's a wrap after that. Ain't no moving forward. How do you move?
Now, before we dive into the complexity of her question, all right? Before we dive into the complexity of her question, can we get a little therapeutic real quick? Is it possible? Let's not concentrate on who the cheating was with for right now. Hold on. Let me host the show. Is it possible to move forward with your partner?
Are y'all twins?
Mike, you taking notes?
Yeah, I'm taking notes. Y'all not twins. I don't see it.
You don't see it?
I don't see it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think like it's possible to move forward, but I think you move forward with the understanding that this relationship will never be the same. You understand? Like, we're gonna grow into a new version of this relationship. A lot of people be feeling like, okay, just because I said I'm sorry or I got counseling or whatever the case may be, that we can hit the ground running. But in her situation specifically, like with my sister, it's over with, gang. It ain't even nothing to talk about.
Now, when we talk, yes, hold on, one question. When we're talking about cheating, you just mean you caught him sending a questionable text. We're not talking about actual all the way cheating.
Complete. The whole effect.
Okay, what was your question?
And do you want to move forward?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. So this is what I'm going to say. When you find out somebody that you love has dishonored you and has betrayed you, the intention is not to figure out how to move forward with that person, because now you're continuing to betray yourself, right? So now what you do is you grieve, because you have essentially just lost connection to your spouse, and you've lost connection to your sister, and you've lost connection to family. So your intention and what you should be focusing on is just the grieving process, and the only person that matters in that is you. You putting a lot of focus on how you move forward in a relationship, and the only relationship you should be focusing on right now is a relationship with yourself.
Ooh, good point. Clap it up. And I noticed, before we move on to the next question, I noticed a lot of people use the word move forward as it relates to staying in a relationship. But moving forward also means you can take your own journey towards what you really need in life that's safe, that's fulfilling, that's trustworthy, all right? Oftentimes we think a breakup or a divorce, as ugly as it may be, is a step back, when it really is a step forward to your new you, your new path and your new purpose, all right? There are certain, go ahead.
And I just wanted to add that I want to offer that you do get into some type of therapy, because you're dealing with the duality of a double deception. Your husband deceived you and your sister deceived you. Two people that at some point I'm sure you thought you had a safe space with. So for you moving forward without getting the proper tools of helping you process through that and gaining back a sense of self, you're going to go into new relationships and project deception and a lack of trust on everyone else, which you would have every right to do because of what you came from. But I want to make sure that this situation doesn't deaden your future. I want to make sure that this situation doesn't have you becoming the self-projector of I can't trust anyone, all men are dogs, and I can't trust women either. Because this is the duality of double trauma, and I want your healed self to get into a relationship moving forward, not your dysfunctional, trauma, painful self to get into a new relationship.
Mike.
I love you. I do. But my biggest concern with everything that just happened here is where your boundaries is at. Because if this was presented to you and you're honestly not sure about where you draw the line between the love you got for yourself and the love you want to give to other people, then I'm scared for you. Because if this is the type of thing that makes you still be considering giving a man an opportunity, like where is your line out here? Where is your wall? Where is your protection from the people that will play in your face? If it's not gonna be this, there's so many other things that could hit worse than this. So my biggest thing, like Doc said, when you go on that healing journey, you gotta ask yourself, what is the shit that I am not falling for? Because that's important. If not, these people will eat you alive.
Kitty, you have something?
Out of all the women you could have chose, out of all of the women you could have chose, you decided to choose my sister? Out of all the women you could have went and played with and had sex with and did everything else, you went and chose somebody who was in close proximity to both me and you. That level of betrayal, let me pull it together for a second. What do you have to sacrifice? I'm saying sacrifice, not compromise. What do you have to sacrifice to stay in a place of both familial trauma, familial betrayal, relational trauma, and relational betrayal? There is some part of you that you will have to sacrifice. There's a value that you will have to sacrifice to be able to maintain that marriage. You chose my sister. That says so much about that man's character. What else needs to be said about his character? And then my question is, what was the dynamic of that relationship that you had with my sister to begin with as well? Because my sister is also a part of me. We family. So when you look at me, did you see my sister? When you looked at my sister, did you see me? And you still decided to keep going when you were having sex with her, were you having sex with me as well? All of those things need to be taken into account before you decide to move forward in that marriage. This ain't even the fact that you stepped outside of your vows. You went inside of my own personal family dynamic and made a decision that affected our vows.
Question, just real quick. In that situation, who do y'all feel like is more wrong?
The sister.
Sister. The sister.
She'll get cut off too.
Yeah.
They all get cut off.
Can I say this to you real quick? Because I know when you're not in this situation, right, and this is not making excuses for anything, but when you're not in a situation, it's easier for you to see the pathway out. What happens in these traumatic experiences, you are stunned and shocked. You have lost your sense, a lot of times your sense of sanity. You can't even sleep, you can't eat, you're not thinking, processing properly. So to come to the mic and ask that question, I can understand, like, because it's disorienting. Like, we've all been there before where it's like, you're so shocked because in one moment you find out this person that you have committed your life to, everything you got is different than who you thought them to be. Your whole, maybe, right, maybe. But I'm saying there are sometimes you can, Tuesday happen and you find out your husband or your wife is a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like Monday, good person. Tuesday, bad person. And that shit is hard to swallow because here you are, you've known them for 10 years to be this good, caring, compassionate person, and you just can't fathom them doing that act. So I can see why people need that pep talk.
Are there kids involved? Do you guys have children?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I mean, what she's got to understand, and what we got to understand is that where she's at in this grief, because it's grief, and she's at that bargaining phase of grief. So where she is right now in her thing is where everybody in grief is, where they try to bargain themselves out of the situation. She's past the denial. Now she's at the bargaining phase where it's like, well, what can I save from this thing to prevent myself from suffering? So, I mean, I know it might sound wild to a lot of people, but what she's experiencing is totally normal. It's called grief. And now you're at that bargaining phase, but your standards are what's going to fight back. Because your willingness to cling on to your old life, you have an opportunity to start a new life, and it's going to be colder and it's going to be lonelier. But this is when the devil gets to you quicker. So I just want you to stay strong.
And I just want to know, what was the conversation like with your sister? I just want to know.
Hands and feet.
You don't have to tell us. Hands and feet.
It's a lot of people chiming in on your personal situation. You asked the question. So I know if you had enough courage to ask the question to us, you've also asked the question to everybody in your family circle or people around you that you can trust. This is not the time where you inquire to outside sources. This is the time where you get silent and you get still and you have a conversation with the God of your own understanding, because now we know that it's not just about you. We know that there are children involved. And when you are in any type of relationship, you always got to know, how far am I willing to go? And if you don't have that boundary, you will always betray yourself. And every person you get in a relationship, they will betray you too. And the betrayal is not just because the love for you is not present. It's because this is how God teaches you lessons. If you don't learn how to love you, then he's going to continue sending people to you that don't love you either. So this is your opportunity to learn how to love yourself and to learn how to make a very serious and important decision, not just for you, but also for your kids. There's a lot of karma that comes when you allow somebody to betray you. Everybody that follows is going to continue to follow that same footstep. So this is your opportunity where you make a choice for yourself and you get silent and you really take intentionality in that stillness.
Yeah, no, give it up for that. I keep thinking about, like, let's say she does take him back. how does that look going forward? Like, that's my family, right? So family functions, Thanksgiving dinner, December, Christmas. I got to be around, like, constantly reminded of the trauma. I think the best way to heal from trauma and issues of that is to remove yourself from it. But if I take them back and I have to be around my family, like, that's my sister. Like, what am I telling my mama now? You can't invite her because me and my man coming. You understand? So it's like, your mom gonna say, no, that's my baby, I'm gonna invite her. So it's like, how does that look going forward if you do take them back?
You got a cousin Faith her.
No. Trill made a really good point. That's why I said to you early on.
Cousin Faith from Soul Food.
Family,
No.
fuck my husband.
At the root of it all, y'all are still family. You have kids with this man. This is why at the beginning I offered therapy, right? Get some help. Build a village, get support. Because this is not, you can walk away from the relationship, but you're not walking away from a family dynamic. You do have to co-parent with this man at some point. That is gonna take effective tools for you to learn how to do that from a capacity where you're just co-parenting and you're able to do what's healthy for your children. You can cut them off from you, but that's still their father. Right? Now your sister, that's your sister. That's your sister. Let me bring it back. That chick, I almost took my Dr. Brian hat off, y'all. She can go where the hell she need to go. But him, you have to learn how to co-parent with this man because fortunately or unfortunately, you've already started a family with him. And I think it's best that you remove yourself, like Trill said, but you got to get the effective tools because you have a lot of moving parts, a lot of heavy weight, a lot of stuff that you do not, and I do not want you to have to do on your own because some things you can't, sis. Some things you just can't. And this is one I want to say you can't, and you shouldn't have to.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your question. All right, thank you for your question. You can't take him back out of that. I don't know, that's a different level of betrayal there. And it's like, that's the type of thing that'll keep you up at night.
That's up there.
Up there, it's up there. It really is.